July 2025 is going to be a wild ride. Not one, not two, but three massive astrological events, plus rising global concerns coming together in ways we've never seen before. We've got the sun in Cancer, the sign of emotion and intuition, facing off against Pluto and Capricorn, the sign of power and control. It's like an all-out emotional war. And because Bitcoin's natal sun illuminated is right smack in the middle of all this, well, let's just say there's some pretty interesting insights to explore. There's a lot of attempts to suppress dissent through legislation, through media censorship, and even through new forms of digital surveillance. Governments will use this period to promise protection, but always in exchange for more control. Capricorn enforces, sometimes through harsh discipline. This new moon is a moment to reject emotional manipulation and return to self-sovereignty. Put those together and you get information warfare on steroids. Run your own node, hold your own keys. Don't be emotionally baited by the system. This isn't about truth. It's about overwhelming the senses. It's psychological warfare. Well, Bitcoin doesn't play the noise game. It runs on signal. Every block mind is a broadcast of truth. So the best tactic for us Bitcoiners is to communicate clearly and directly, educating others, not reacting emotionally to the chaos. Focus on the facts and the solution. Digital ID programs linked to safety, emotional manipulation through media around safety and crisis events, even using family and children narratives to justify restrictions. And it's scary. But beneath it all, it's the old system desperately trying to hold on to control over human emotion and choice. It's not just for us Bitcoiners, but for everyone. Expect Bitcoin to become a bigger topic in mainstream outlets, both praise and attack. More governments will respond by either embracing or restricting Bitcoin-related activity. Emotionally, this is a time when people are pushed to choose submission to fear or alignment with truth. Debt is a fantasy, as is the yield curve, pension plans, the idea that ESG, AI governance, or any form of ethical centralization will save us. Leaders step up, not politicians, but real sovereign individuals. Bitcoiners and open source builders gain attention, sovereign communities grow, and parallel systems emerge. There's a rise in unapologetic messaging against central control. All of these fantasies are collapsing and exposing the truth. It's about surviving the simulation collapse with your own tools, and Bitcoin is no longer optional. It's the requirement to stay human in a post-truth age. Saturn represents authority, and retrograde means breaking down old structures, so pay attention. The simulation is running hot. Narratives are breaking. Institutions are gaslighting while systems collapse behind the scenes. Sovereignty is no longer a theory. It's an active practice. Bitcoin's code is being re-illuminated this month. We're in a mirror moment. The original design versus the artificial patch. Make sure you're not just observing. Be a participant in the exit. This isn't just a price pump. This is recognition. The original code is being seen. Nodes are spreading. Fiat is weakening. Pair that with Neptune, the planet of illusion, and you're breaking down the fantasy that keeps this whole system running. Let's get it. Let's kick this off with July 1st, a day where the sun opposes Pluto. This is the Great Awakening. Bitcoin was built outside this illusion. It's mathematical, predictable, and doesn't sell you a dream. This transit underlines why code-based systems, especially decentralized ones, are the only sustainable path forward. And institutional players push even more aggressive narratives, maybe something around digital ID proposals or surveillance-based finance. To put it simply, this is a once-a-year occurrence where the full moon shines a light on Bitcoin as exact birth point in the sky. Symbolically, this means Bitcoin's identity becomes impossible to ignore. They, well, dangle safety in front of scared people and ask for even more control in return. On the surface, it's playing out as tension between populations and state actors. And guess what? On the other side of this transit sits Bitcoin, born under Capricorn. That's right. Bitcoin sits on the opposite side of this energy, representing the structural truth that can't be manipulated or bought. Then we have the new moon in Cancer on July 4th, bringing a collective reset around home, security, and sovereignty. Now, the Cancer-Capricorn axis is the simulation's parental code. Cancer nurtures, but also smothers. Next up, Mars enters Gemini on July 9th. Now, Mars is all about action. Gemini rules communication, code, and the media. Think rising tensions, more cyber attacks, mass disinformation campaigns, higher censorship spikes on major platforms, manipulation of public sentiment through generated content. So how does Bitcoin fit into all this? Then we have Saturn retrograde in Pisces approaching Neptune. That's a major simulation destabilizer. Everything built on illusion is cracking, especially the mainstream financial system. Think about it. At the same time, the public is getting disillusioned with legacy media and institutions. And finally, the July 20th full moon in Capricorn is Bitcoin's natal sun illuminated. As legacy systems try to exert power, people start looking for alternatives that work. That's Bitcoin's message: rules without rulers, money without masters. This full moon, the contrast between truth and control is clear. And finally, the sun enters Leo on July 22nd, shifting the vibe from tension to truth. This is when the signal gets louder. It's no longer about being early. I know it sounds dramatic, but these astrological alignments don't happen every year.